Hi YouTube, and welcome to all my Buster buddies. I am your host, Brad Kleba, and this is Brad's Boredom Busters, your textile art channel. This is the channel where we have fun with fabric. Alright, so this is part 2 of our Rainbow Sea Turtle Tapestry. And on this episode, we are going to be putting the Hawaiian Islands across the Rainbow Sea Turtle shell. So on this episode, I'm going to show you how to make the stencils and then how to airbrush paint the islands across this tapestry. Alright, so what you're going to need for this is a printout of the Hawaiian Islands, and then you're going to also need some stenciling material. Some very fine mill plastic is ideal because that way you can see through it to place it on the tapestry. And that'll be the next thing I show you, is how I printed out the Hawaiian Islands, and then we'll create the stencil, and then we'll get into painting on here. We are going to have to bleach out the dye in the areas where the islands will go, and then we'll, with airbrush paint the islands back on. Alright, so let's get over to the work table and I'll show you how to create the stencil. Okay, Busters, so I've got the tapestry mounted to my t-shirt form. I have a masonite, or sometimes called hardboard form. If you have a foam core t-shirt form that I've talked about in past videos, that'll work fine too. And then I have just little clamps on the side and at the top to kind of hold it. I took all the extra material, folded around the back, and then used some blue painter's tape to just kind of control the fabric on the back so I could put it on my easel and have it lay flat. So it's all clamped in place, and I have the stencil here. So I think just the best way to put this stencil up, this plastic's a little heavy, but we'll see. I'm hoping I can just take and actually tape it to the tapestry to hold it in place. If not, I can use some spray adhesive to hold the stencil in place, but let's first try taping it up so we don't have to get any adhesive residue on the tapestry. So I've got 50-50 bleach water mix in my bottle here on the airbrush, and I recommend using a siphon airbrush for something like this. Well, if you're able to put your project up vertically, then if you have a gravity feed cup airbrush, that'll be fine. But if you are going to lay this flat and try and do, spray it while it's down on the table, then I recommend the siphon airbrush, because if you have a gravity feed and you tip it like that, you possibly can drip the bleach out and it'll ruin your tapestry. Here we are after the tapestry's been bleached and then washed. And so you see we have pretty good bleaching out on most of the spots where the islands are going to go. My next step is to replace the stencil over the tapestry, and then I'm going to give it a few coats of white. I'll be giving a few coats of Createx Opaque White. This is a paint designed for airbrushes. I got this at Blick's art supply store. You can find it online. And it's a water-based paint. And the manufacturer does have a reducer and also airbrush cleaner that they make for their own paint, and so that's what I have and that's what I'll be using. And it's recommended for stencils. If you're putting a stencil over fabric or a t-shirt, use a 3M Super 77 all-purpose spray adhesive. You can also use a quilting spray adhesive that is used for binding layers of your quilt together before you start doing the quilt sewing. That's also acceptable to use, but this is kind of the most common spray adhesive. Alright, I got the back of my stencil sprayed. Doesn't take very long for it to tack up. Like I say, you just spray it on very lightly. So now I have to line it up to where everything was before. Alright, Busters, so I've got my paint mixed up. So like I say, I'll start coating this. I'll do, well, hopefully no more than 3 coats of paint, really. The rainbow in the sea turtle kind of really represented Hawaii, because each one of the islands, or some, in some cases some groups of islands, are represented by those rainbow colors. I wrote it down on my printout here that I used for the stencil. So the big island is red, Maui and this other little island is orange. These two are yellow. Oahu is green. Kalau is blue. And then this other last little one is purple. And so those are the colors I'll be spray painting over those. I won't make you sit through me doing all that. I'll mix up the red. It'll probably take a couple coats even of the red to, cover this nicely. But you can watch me initially painting that, and then I'll turn off the camera, finish painting all the islands, and then we'll come back because I've saved all my cutouts. After we pull this stencil off, then I'm going to mask off the islands with the cutouts, is outline all of them in black. And so I'll come back and show you how I do that. And I think after that it'll probably be done. Alright, so there's the first coat of red. Looks pretty good. It covers pretty well. See how well it dries down. Like I say, I'll probably add 1 or 2 more coats over this, but you'll get the idea. So this is how I'll progress through all the other islands, and then like I say, when they're all painted out, We'll come back, I'll pull the mask off and you'll see that. Then I'll apply the individual island masks over what I've already painted and we'll start outlining that. All right, we'll see you back then. All right, far out. That came out just right. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's ready. I've got my paint mixed up, so we can get started here. Okay, that's all outlined, and now I think I want to give it kind of a graffiti 3D effect, so I'll kind of block it out in kind of this general diagonal direction. Okay, so there's all the kind of 3D look for that. So we'll pull the stencils, and I'm going to mix up some white paint. We're going to do some highlights, and then that'll be it. Okay, that looks great. All right, I'm going to clean out the airbrush and we'll come back and I'll do the highlights, and then that'll be it. Alright, so that's all heat set. So I'll hang it up and we can do a reveal. We'll look at some of the details. Alright, Buster Buddies, so let's take a look at the Tapestry here. I've got my handheld camera set up, so excuse any of the shaking, but yeah, let's get in and look at some of these details. First and foremost, let's take a look at the islands. They came out really nice. Yep, I really like that. That came out good. The colors are good. Colors somewhat match actually the dye that I used. These corners came out really pretty. Yep, like that. There's the head. It's pretty cool. I like the background, how it came out. It gives it a real nice watery effect. And the fins are good. Yep, the center shell is great. I like it. I think the whole thing came out really nice. Hey, I hope you like this video. I hope you like this project. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it around. That really helps out my channel if you share my videos. So, hey, let's get back to the desk and we'll do a sign off. Alright, Busters, that project came out really cool. Hey, I hope you learned something new on this project. Hey, if you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. And hey, if you really want to help out my channel, go to my Buy Me a Coffee page and buy me a coffee. That really helps me out. Hey, alright, thanks for watching. Love you all, folks. Peace out, baby, and go bust out some art.